All right, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy GoodFeets back, and we are here with vlog episode number 5. I'm having a ball doing these episodes. Been having a good time dealing with this car, figuring this car out, figuring out all the features, kind of going through my mind and my concepts of how I want to build this car. So I think that this is going to be something that has longevity. I know the other vehicles that I did my vlogs, my videos about kind of cut short, but I have a good feeling with this one. Anyway, let's jump right on into it. What are the good feats for today? So today we're gonna go with a little bit of a throwback. I didn't had these for probably a decade now. Probably a little over a decade. This is a shoe that is very important to me. When me and my wife first started dating, she had bought me this pair of sneakers a while back. Like I told you guys, I've been a sneakerhead for the better part of my life. I was really into sneakers at the time when me and her first started dating. I was picking up a lot of rare cops. This was one of them. And I'm proud to say that I still own them and they're still good condition after a decade. So the good feats for today are the breast cancer foams. All right. Tell you a little bit about this shoe. This came out, I don't remember the year that it came out, but it did come out right around Valentine's Day. I do remember that because this was a Valentine's Day gift from my wife to me. At the time, we were living in New York City still, and I was going to school. I was going to John Jay at the time, which is really close to, not really close, but it's a couple train stops away from Flight Club. So we used to go down to 14th Street Union Square. We used to do a lot of shopping. There was like a True Religion store down there we used to go to a lot. And along with some other stores, there was a OG throwback lid store down there where they had all the snapbacks and like fitteds from like the 90s and early, like late 80s, all that other stuff like baseball hats, basketball, throwback jerseys, all that stuff. So I used to be down there a lot. I used to be down at 14th Street Union Square a lot, like a lot. There was this place there, Urban Outfitters. I used to go get a lot of clothes out of Urban Outfitters. That place was legit. But anyway, I went into Flight Club, and it was for right before the release. So I had got these like a week earlier than they were supposed to. We paid a little bit extra money. It was like $100 extra because the way they were doing it, they were, by the time the shoe is supposed to release in New York, it's supposed to be sold out everywhere. So I was able to get my hands on a pair before release, which was pretty cool. And I still have them to this day. So this is the good feats for the day, breast cancer foams. All right. So for this episode, I told you guys we were going to go into the whole reason and why I got this G80 to begin with, how I ended up getting the G80, what was the process of everything that I've done. For many that don't know, my G80 is brand new. So I was like, let me actually put this in the video, put kind of open knowledge out about this. I had a homie yesterday. We had went to a car meet or whatever, and one of my homies was there. And he was like, asking me, he was like, well, how many miles do you got on your G80? And I was like, about 130 something. He was like, oh wow, like it's like brand new. And I was like, yeah, like I custom built it. So even between him and just other people I've seen on social media online, a lot of people don't know that you can custom build vehicles, and that this is one of the vehicles that you can custom build. So I was like, let me give this information out to like the public, or just ones that are in my channel, because I keep on saying I have a custom build G80, and I don't think a lot of people actually understand what that means. All right, so to begin with, I don't know if you remember him or not. My boy Envy Ant, I'll post a picture of him and his vehicle here. All right, last year, me and my boy Envy Ant, we were going to this BMW dealership. That was about 20-25 minutes from where we live. We were going to pick up an F80. So for those that don't know, I've been into this BMW stuff for a really long time. I feel like the F80 is one of the best looking and best platform BMW M cars ever. So I told my boy, I said, took so many 3 Series, 325s, 335s, and built them to be better than M's, right? I told him for the first time in my life, I don't want to take a 3 Series and turn it into an M or make it better. I want to just go outright and get my first M ever, right? So that was the goal. So I had found, I found the Alpine White F80 at this dealership a couple minutes from my house. We go up there, we test drive it. The F80 was cool as far as power-wise. I don't know what the previous owner did to the suspension, but the F80 was clapped out. Like, the way it rode, it was very harsh. It wasn't comfortable. It was very bumpy. It gave me, like, Civic feels, like, really stiff suspension. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So we drove it around for a little bit, on a little test drive or whatever, and I just, like, it kind of ruined the experience for me because it was the first F80 I ever driven. So I don't know if that's an F80 thing or if that just was the suspension was just raw dog on that vehicle. Either way, we get back to the dealership, and as we're pulling into the dealership, I see an Alpine White G80. And this was the first time that, like, in the realm of me looking to get an M, I seen the G80 in person. So mind you, I've seen G80s previously, but never to the point, like, never at the point where, like, I'm actively looking for a car. So now, like, my antennas is kind of up and I'm looking at things from a different perspective. It's one thing when you see a vehicle or you see something and you're not in the process of looking to get it, or you're not looking to buy it. What up, fat boy? Good morning. When you're not in that process looking to buy, and it's a different thing when you are in the process of looking to buy a vehicle, right? So now I see this G80 and I'm like, all right, can we test drive that? And my sales guy at the time was like, yeah, we could test drive that. And it was a manual one too. So I was just like, this is cool. So I drove the G80. I liked it a lot. From driving, like, if you've never driven a G80 before, they're very powerful, but they're very refined. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I came from very powerful, like, I've had several Evos, I've had several M-swapped E30s, like, I've had some fast cars, I've had a Chaser, I've had some fast cars, but they've been, like, raw power. This is the first time that, like, I felt like it wasn't raw power, it was like refined power. And I was like, wow, this is really nice. Like, the way they did the suspension is really good. The way the car feels, the way like you're sitting in the car and everything, and just like the aura and vibe of the car was very good. So now, like, boom, G80's on my radar. So that's what really birthed the kind of implanted the thought in my mind, like, yo, maybe I'll get a G80. Now we do the test drive. Now we're going back to the salesperson's office to, like, talk numbers and discuss, like, financing and, like, what I would have to put down for either vehicle and all this other stuff, right? As we go in, there's an all-black G80 at the time, right? It didn't have the carbon roof. It had the sunroof, right? And it was manual as well, and it was a newer one, right? So mind you, the G80 that we test drove was a 2021, right? For those that know, that has the iDrive 7, right? That one we saw in there was a 2023 and it had the iDrive 8. So it was just the more updated version of the G80, right? So while I asked him, said, can we get a second before we come to your office? Me and my boy hop in that car. It was on the showroom floor. We hop in the car and I'm just like, yo, it had the bucket seats in it, like everything. So the other G80 we drove was like a base model, older G80. So it was still nice, but it wasn't as updated as this one. So I get in it and I'm just like, dog, these seats, the way the shifter placement is, the big panoramic screen, I'm like, everything. I'm just like, yo. And my boy looks at me. He was like, yo, Dave, this is you. Like, this is what you need. And so then again, now I planned another seat. Like, all right, I came here for F80, but, like, let me start seeing what these G80s about, right? So we go home. I start doing my research. I start looking at comps, base models, X drives, all the features to G80s, this and the third, right? I end up deciding I want to get back into a manual vehicle. I haven't had a manual vehicle since my last Evo. So I've been driving these automatic or DCT Beamers for the last couple years. I'm lying. My E30, I got rid of my E30 2 years ago. I had a M-swapped E30. That E30 was a manual too. All right, so it's been about 2 years, 2.5 years since I've been in a manual vehicle. And I'm like, I'm ready to get back into that, right? So I started doing my research, figure everything out. I stumble across on the BMW app that you can build and customize a 2024 G80 to your specific likings. And when I say customize, I mean literally down to everything. your wheel size, your wheel color, the trim that you have inside the vehicle, the type of seats you have, the type of dashboard you want, the type of door cards you want. Do you want carbon fiber all on the inside? Do you want another particular panel? Do you want it to be a sense attack dash? Do you want parking assistant? Do you want the car to be able to park itself? Do you want adaptive cruise control? Do you want lane assist? Do you want the carbon exterior package? What kind of color do you want on the interior? What kind of color do you want on the exterior? Literally everything. You can select every single thing. So I said, this is perfect. If I'm going to get my first M ever, and this is going to be kind of like a crowning achievement for myself, like I've been buying cars that other people have had and try to make them mine and try to make them fire. I get to start this from the beginning, like an artist, a blank canvas, and I get to start the paint how I want. Instead of getting another artist's half drawing, and now I got to finish the drawing to my liking. So I go contact another dealership, the dealership in Virginia that I ultimately got my car from, and I asked them about the process. The salesman walks me through it. They basically tell me all you have to do is put down $1,000 to $2,500 in order to start your allocation, and then it takes about 6 to 8 months for us to build your vehicle and get it delivered. Right there over the phone, I give my card, give them the down payment, give them the $1,000 or whatever. That way he can get me on a list for me to build my BMW. And then that's what started everything right then and there. Everybody knows it took about like 8 months for my vehicle to get there. Over the course of the first 3 months, we're talking back and forth a lot. I'm making sure that I have all the specs on my vehicle that I want. He's giving me time frames to the third. It kind of was at a standstill until we got about around January. So it was August, September, October, November, December. Those first 5 months kind of really wasn't too much. When January hit, that's when my car actually started production. So I got a text message from my sales agent, and I was actually able to go into the BMW app, and they started production of my vehicle, which is called pre-production, the first week of January, right? So pre-production means they went and they started gathering all the parts up for my vehicle and making sure that they had everything ready to go to put my car on the assembly line. From January, from the car actually went into full production in February. It took about a week and a half for them to assemble the whole vehicle. I'm talking about assemble the outside frame, send it to paint, assemble everything on the interior. And as this is going on, I'm following it on the app, and I'm seeing day by day what's going on with my vehicle. They're sending me AI generated media, showing me like, this is how my car looks now. This is at the phase that it's at. It was a really cool process. Then once the car was done, it went through quality assurance to make sure that everything was correct. There was no safety hazards in the third. And then my car, all M BMWs are built in Munich, Germany. My vehicle left Munich, Germany at the end of February and went to port. It took about 2 weeks for it to go over, go over the ocean, go over, the Atlantic? Yeah, to go over the Atlantic from Germany to, I think it came into Pennsylvania. I think the port was Pennsylvania. Let it go. All right. Bye, man. Took about 2 weeks for it to go over the ocean and get to the States. Once it got to the States, maybe it was Maryland. It was Maryland or PA, one of the ports that I went through, or whatever. I think it was Maryland. Car got here. I had to wait about a week or so for them to pick it up from the port, bring it to the dealership, and then that's when you guys saw me that Thursday that I had went and picked up the vehicle. All right. So that you guys kind of understand the process and everything that I went through, let's talk a little bit about the options that I decided to go with on this. So this is my build sheet right here. You can see the ultimate driving machine. All right, here is my window sticker for my G80. If you see, I got the original window sticker back behind there on the wall. I have it tacked up on the wall. I'm gonna end up putting that, like getting it laminated or putting it in a picture case, and we're gonna keep that because like this is like a real big thing for me. You know what I'm saying? All right, so to start with, it talks about just the base model, what the vehicle costs to begin with. I'm not going to disclose the pricing and everything that I paid for. I just don't do that. I don't feel the need to flaunt certain things, and I don't like people pocket watching me. So I'm not going to talk about prices, but I will talk about the options, everything I have. All right. So the manufacturer's suggested retail price is the first thing. Then Isle of Man green is the color of my paint. I had to pay a little extra for that. Give me 1 second, I'll use some water. Okay. Isle of Man green was the paint that I picked. I did the orange and black extended merino leather, so you guys can see I have the orange seats. I chose to, so I kind of negated that. So it's supposed to have orange extended merino leather. I'll show y'all when we get to the vehicle. But instead I chose to do a Sensitech dash, which cracks less because, you know, leather dries out and gets brittle and gets damaged. The dash and the door cards I chose on the Sensitech, which is like a blend of leather that doesn't dry out and crack as easily. I also did the parking assistant package, also did the executive package as well. The executive package comes with heated steering wheel, power tailgate. I'm able to open my trunk and close the trunk from a push of a button. I don't have to like lift it up or close it myself. And then the BMW curved display with HUD. So I have the iDrive 8, my whole panel, my whole screen is the curved panoramic display. And then while I'm driving, I can also have my HUD up on the windshield so I can see my speed. If I have Siri engaged where I'm like following directions, or I have directions set in my Google Maps somewhere, all that stuff pops up on the windshield so I don't have to look anywhere else. I did also get manual. I went 18x9 orbit gray wheels. I have the M Sport differential. I have a mobility kit. I have the adaptive M suspension, M compound brakes. I chose to go with the black painted calipers, comfort access, keyless entry. I'll show you guys when I go out to the vehicle. I can have my key on me. When I walk up to the car, the door unlocks without me having to press a button. When I walk away from the car, the door locks itself without me pressing a button. Sensitech dash, where they talked about the M seat belts. I have the carbon fiber trim all on the inside. So my steering wheel is carbon fiber. My front running board panel is carbon fiber. My center console is carbon fiber, and the back of my front and driver's seat are also carbon fiber as well. Auto dimming rear view mirror, heated front seats. I have heated and cool front seats. I have active driving assistant, active guard, icon adaptive LED laser lights. And so my lights, as I'm going through, like if I'm going through a windy area, my lights literally turn towards the turn. So like it always lights up and illuminates my pathway. I can also have it set up to where I get out the vehicle. If I live like in a dark neighborhood, I can have my lights stay on for like 20 seconds showing like the path that I'm like walking, which is pretty cool. I have dual zone auto climate control, connected package pro, wireless device charging. I have a little pad, a little phone slot where I can put my phone in and it just charges it wirelessly. Connected package pro. My car comes equipped with 5G. I have Sirius XM with a 1-year plan. I have the Harman Kardon surround sound. My surround sound, like my system is really good. I have the extended Shadowline trim, the M Carbon exterior package, and I have the Shadowline exterior trim as well. The Anthracite headliner, so I have just the black headliner, and that seems to be about it as far as this. All right, so now let's go head out to the vehicle, and I'll actually show you what some of these features are on the vehicle so you guys can understand exactly what it is. All right, catch y'all outside. All right, we outside. I'm gonna show you guys some of the features so you guys can get an understanding. So to begin with, that keyless feature we were talking about just now upstairs. When I get close to the vehicle, you see it'll unlock itself. The mirrors fold out. The M3 signs on the inside, they light up. You can't see right now because I got the car so tinted. But you can see the Shadowline trim that I went with in the headlights. You see the icon adaptive headlights. Anytime you see the blue headlights like this, you know that they're the adaptive headlights. The extended Shadowline trim. You can see all the black exterior on the bottom of the vehicle. This is the Shadowline trim, and then you can see where I went with the exterior carbon package. You can see my rear diffuser is carbon fiber with the black tips. My spoiler is carbon fiber. My roof is also carbon fiber. The mirror caps are carbon fiber. You can see my ducts, my air ducts are carbon fiber as well. that's about it for the exterior. Let's hop on the inside, and then I'll show you guys some features that I was talking about too. All right, so you can see where I went with the SenseTac door cards and dash. You can see my dash and my door cards are all just plain simple black, while the interior is the orange, the Kalami orange. You can see where I went with the carbon fiber trim. I was telling y'all the trim everywhere. That's carbon fiber there, all in the center console and everything. My steering wheel is all carbon fiber there. And then also the back of the seats are carbon fiber full. And then you can see the MC belts with the stitching. Give it a really nice touch. I gotta vacuum this car, it's kind of dirty. And then I open the trunk, show you guys how big the trunk is. There goes the auto trunk that I was telling you guys about. Trunk space is really good. I could lay those seats down in the back too, for more space. And then I told you it's automatic trunk, so I just press this button and then the trunk closes itself. All right, now let's get in and we'll talk a little bit more. The new G80 comes with this really cool feature. So you got your M1 and your M2 modes. Basically what this is, you can set up both of these to have the car perform a certain way. So right now I have my M1. My M1 is like my Sport Plus mode. So this is everything aggressive. This is the car at full boost. This is the car putting out like maximum power. The suspension is in Sport Plus. The steering is in Sport Plus. And just it kind of being maxed out. And then we have the comfort mode, which is here. It's just kind of like when I want to save gas and I just want to chill, the car's quiet. Here's where the exhaust is completely open and everything as well. Here's where everything is kind of like quiet and chill. And then we go to one of my favorite features, which is the iDrive 8 screen. You can see instead of having a split screen, it's one whole solid screen. You press this button here, you have like all your apps and everything that you could go through. And then I have my phone app and everything like that. That has Apple CarPlay and everything. The sound system sounds amazing. You can see I got the blacked out trim in the roof that we were talking about earlier. So everything looks really good. All right. Yeah, I love it. I love this car. This car is like super dope. What I'm gonna do now, we'll go back upstairs and we'll just wrap this video up, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we're gonna do in the next episode. All right, y'all, see y'all back upstairs. All right, y'all, we're back upstairs. Simply enough, that basically is a G80. So now you guys understand the process that I went through mentally on why I even picked up a G80 to begin with, and you guys got to see kind of the process of what I went through on the last 8 months to get it here. And then also kind of showed you guys today, like my build sheet and like some of the actual physical features, so you can see it and kind of understand what each feature was. That will be the conclusion of this episode. I appreciate you guys for being here. That is now 4 episodes strong. On the next episode, episode 5, we're gonna go to a DIY installation of my rear taillights. I said last video, I ordered a pair of VLAN OLED taillights, which is like the GTS style taillights from previous M3s. I probably will install those at work, we'll see, because I have to work this Saturday. So might as well just bring the vehicle up there Saturday and get that knocked out as well. Yeah, and I think that's it, man. You know the vibes. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch y'all on the next vlog.